I'm John Skinner, and this supplements my book, Fishing the Bucktail. I'll be fishing with S&S John Skinner Blackfish Porgy jigs, and I'll have links to all of the gear in the description of the video. And we'll be using the Rodan trolling motor GPS anchor. So basically, we're just motoring over the spot, and they'll hit a button, and that's it. It will lock us in, and it's a really cool way to anchor the boat. And I'm fishing with John Halkias and John Sweeney from the Jigging Jerks YouTube channel. We also have Sweeney's father and Tom Schlichter, who's the fishing columnist for Newsday. So I've had a lot of viewers ask me questions about when to set the hook for this kind of fishing. So what I've done is I've put a white marker, a piece of tape on the tip of the rod so that it will show up better against the water. I've recorded in higher quality, higher resolution video for this trip, and I'm using my editing software's pan and zoom feature to zoom in on the tip, and we'll discuss, what do you see in there? You get a bunch of little taps. Well, what do you do with those? And you don't want to set on those little taps. You want to wait, and you're waiting to feel those fish pick up the jig and move with it. You see I've got a pretty decent sized chunk of crab. It's a lightweight jig, 3/4 of an ounce in this case. We're in 40 feet of water. And yeah, you put down there and you've got little burgalls and smaller blackfish and stuff all pecking away. But then the better blackfish are going to pick up the jig and swim with it, and that's what you're waiting to feel. So on this video, I'm going to show a bunch of hookups where I'm going to zoom in on this and then discuss what I'm seeing and when I'm deciding to swing and why. And we're using both green crabs and white crabs. It looks like I'm jigging there. I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm just taking the line off the reel. The bail is open, dropping down. So, a long way down with the light jig with a chunk of crab on there. That's 15-pound test braid. And then once I get down to the bottom here, we'll zoom right in. Okay, so I'm going to feel nothing for, I don't know, 5-7 seconds. I'm not sure what it is. Then I'm going to intentionally, I'm moving the jig because I didn't feel anything. I'm trying to get the attention of the fish. I know they're down there, and now come the hits. And you see that right there. The tip came up. The fish actually went up with it, where most of the time what you'll feel is that they'll pull away with it. When you're making contact with the jig and all of a sudden your line goes slack, set the hook. That's a blackfish that has grabbed it and it's swimming upward, swimming towards you. But that feeling of slack, and you know what, the same thing goes for fluke fishing. When you're jigging and you feel all of a sudden, you've got contact with the jig, and then it goes slack, set the hook. That's a fish. So that's what happened in that particular case. And that's our first keeper of the day, and that hit a piece of white crab. Yeah, white crabs are harder to get in the tackle stores. Some of them will have them. They don't live as long. They're not as hardy as the green crabs, but they do work well on the blackfish. Okay, I'm going to wait through a couple of taps. I'm going to feel a good move, and here it is. I missed them. But you know what? I can still feel that the crab's on there. No problems. Put right back down. That fish isn't going anywhere. It's going to come back. Bunch of little taps. Waiting, waiting, waiting. And then there's going to be a really nice movement. There he goes. There he goes. That's it right there. That's a perfect example where those taps are there. You just wait through them, and then the jig just moves. And at that point, that fish is, it's got that jig in its mouth. You set, and you're probably going to hook them.
Nah, swing them. We're gonna do fine here.
Nice job. Nice fish. That's a nice fish, Skinner. 4-pounder. Good job. Look at that.
Well, it's these jigs,
Yeah, I'm using the same jigs, and I got 3 shorts, Skinner. So.
Okay, this time when I go to move the jig, I'm going to see that I'm actually caught on the structure a little bit. I'll just take it to the side. You know what? A lightweight jig with a piece of crab. See, I'm stuck. Just move it. It's fine. There's not much to get hung up with there. So, yeah, you lose some jigs. Not too many. There's the taps. Waiting, waiting, waiting. waiting. There it goes. There it goes. That's it. You know, it goes from taps to movement, and then it's hook set. All right, and that one's a small sea bass. Yeah, this technique works great for sea bass and for porgies. It's actually excellent for porgies, and I've got a nice porgy video on my channel that shows that with some real jumbos. Yeah, it's a fun way to catch them.
Yeah.
So I like power handles on reels. This reel is a Penn Clash 3000, but it's got the handle of a Penn Slammer 3 4500 on there, and it makes a really nice matchup. And I like that power handle for this kind of fishing. It just, the way I happen to set the hook, bringing that rod up high, which is basically, you know, get that fish out of the structure, and then the rod's up pretty high, and I'm going to reach with the other hand and grab the handle. I love having that big handle out there, so it works out well for this. All right, I'm going to wait a little bit to get something to set on, and then I'm going to miss. And a neat thing about this fishing with this kind of tackle is you can tell easily whether the crab came off or didn't. You can feel that with this kind of tackle. So you know what, when you set and you know you didn't lose the crab, well, yeah, you're just going to put right back down, and that's, you know, that fish isn't going anywhere. So yeah, I know the crab's still on there, and almost every time when you miss like that, yeah, that fish is going to pounce. There he goes. Yep, just picked it, just moved with it, didn't even tap it.
No?
I don't know.
Skinner.
I think it's a big short.
Like a monster. There's your limit.
Think? Yeah, probably.
If that's a keeper, keep it, because that's one I'll take.
Really?
Yeah, because I cook them home for my mom, and you know.
And that's the size, huh?
That's the size, because anything bigger than it's.
All right, I'm going to wait a little bit to get the right thing to set on, and this time, again, it's going to be one of those examples of the fish not pulling away with it, but instead coming up. So you're going to see, you know, I have constant contact with the jig, and you're going to see my rod tip come up, because that's me like trying to maintain contact with the jig, realizing, oh, that's slack, and I'm going to set on that.
Oh, damn it. Swam with it. Oh, yep, it's on. Hey.
A big one? Just a smart one. Check your leader. Yeah.
Who would ever say your fish is good?
Yeah, it's a good one.
That?
I don't know. Now he's coming right up. You saw it.
I saw
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Yeah. He's not that. He's a good one, but
It's good.
yeah. Okay, thanks.
He looks much bigger in the water.
Yeah, he did. And he fought great. I mean, he didn't want to come up.
Whites or green?
That one was a white. I've been going back and forth. What kind of jig are you using there, Tom?
I think that's a John Skinner jig.
Okay.
I tell you, I like the style.
Beautiful
of it.
fish. There you go.
That's a nice fish, man.
Best fish so far.
All right.
Way to go, Tom.
Good job, Tommy. See, all it took was a little razzing from me, Tom.
That's it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, let's go drop him down. Give him some slack.
Yeah, so that's 7. 6, 7.
He's fat, I'll tell you.
It's a good fish. Nice fight.
He's 6.
That's 5 or 6.
Yeah, he's short, but look how fat.
And there's a nice picture of Tom's fish.
It's an okay one, not, you know, not huge. Not a netter.
That'll pass. Huh. 10 seconds. One hand. Well, he has a higher balance on the ball, so it actually makes sense. What? He has the higher bellows on his boat. It's not that easy to reach down to grab your lead. Oh. Yeah.
All right, this is a nice example of a fish just sitting on it. I'm not going to know it until I go to just move it a little bit and I feel that weight. And when I feel the weight, I'm just going to set the hook.
Bait's still large.
Yeah, he was sitting on it.
That's a keeper, Skinner. Skinner, that's a keeper. Skinner's on a keeper here.
No, well, maybe.
No, he's a keeper. I'd bet on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him go.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, well, he took that big run. He's not that bad. All right, hey guys, we have our sound ready. Yeah, I see. All right, more importantly, I'm high hook now. Damn it, and Skinner just got one. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I...
You know, when I was younger, I don't remember the Blackfish having, some of them having this orange color to them. Yeah, that one's got a little bit, but check this guy out. It's almost completely orange. All right, if you like these videos, please subscribe to my channel.